Welcome to Gamers Station. Now, let's talk a bit about a year and a half ago when SimCity 5, or technically called just SimCity, was released. Now, it went down sort of with mixed reviews because of the whole offline, online, not being able to mod it and all sorts of stuff like that, and EA got a lot of flack for messing with Maxis. And in more recent news, which is a little bit sad, Maxis, the company that developed SimCity and a lot of sim games over the years, for the past 20 years really, has been shut down. And now, more recently, the competitor, the game that's supposed to kill SimCity, the game that's supposed to fix SimCity and be what SimCity was meant to be, is called Cities Skylines by Colossal Order, and it released very recently, and it released sort of 1 week after Maxis was shut down, so the correlation is a bit obvious there. But Cities Skyline is a city builder that at first glance looks a lot like the more recent SimCity. Let's jump into the game and see how much it really is like the SimCity and how much it is new. So, jumping into the game of Cities Skylines, what can you expect? Well, it really is a lot like SimCity, and to the point where at first glance people just said it's a copy of SimCity. I mean, what's going on here? But over time, the more you play it, the more you realize there's actually a lot more to the game. And one big thing that might worry you once you load up Cities Skylines is you see the boundary box where you see this massive landscape and then you see the square, and it says you can only build within that square, and that's what really threw the old SimCity off its scales, basically because you couldn't build big cities anymore, which sort of defeated the purpose of SimCity. But don't worry, in Cities Skylines, once you see that box, it just means that you're going to have to expand your city later on. You expand by buying the next segment, so you actually have pretty much 9 times the size of that square. So you can actually build your dream megalopolis over there. In terms of the gameplay, you have to set down roads, build a power plant, maybe green or coal or something like that, set down some residential, industrial and commercial, wait for people to move in and make money through taxes. So it's your typical modern city builder. But it goes a lot deeper. There's a lot of budgeting, there's policies, there's unique buildings, and basically as you increase in population, the more people who move into your city, the more things you unlock, and you start off as like a little hamlet or a worthy village, and you end up in big cities and megalopolis and all of that sort of stuff. So as you progress through the game, more things are unlocked, and it gets really, really cool. Now, the big selling point of this is not just the offline play, but it's also the native mod support. Now, the developers said that they want mods to be made, community-made mods. And mods, in my book, are what make a game last forever. You can have a 10-year-old game look like a new game if it's got some mods on it, some graphical mods, some new things like that. And being able to make community mods, download them, and improve the game, change the game, not only allows you to update the game over time through community-made content, it also means that you're going to get some themed stuff. They might be able to create not just modern cities, they might make it more like a medieval village, or make it look like a fantasy city or something like that, or a futuristic sci-fi city, which sort of goes back to the old SimCity 2000 days, or the 3,000 or 4,000 days, where you could actually have these constructor kits and modding kits, and you could actually customize the game and customize the graphics and all of that. And it's really, really cool. Now, in terms of a technical aspect, the difference between SimCity 5 and the Cities Skylines, well, SimCity 5 ran on what they called glass box, right? So the idea is it simulates everything on a 1-to-1 scale, where if you see a car leave a house and go to work, that person has actually gone to work and they're going to come out of the workplace and go home to the same house, and same with all the resources and all of that. In Cities Skylines, it's not the glass box engine, it's actually running on Unity, which is interesting because Unity is usually made for sort of indie developments and simpler games than this. But actually looking at the game, how the traffic flow works, how the pollution works, the water pollution, air pollution, and harvesting of resources and all of that, it actually looks a lot like the Glassbox engine. It's actually quite capable. It does simulate a real city really, really accurately, and you can get completely immersed in this. And this is a sort of game that you can spend a long time with. So the game itself, Cities Skylines, the gameplay is very, very solid, very, very strong, and it does have a lot of extra features compared to SimCity 5. So, should you get Cities Skylines? Well, if you were super hyped for the old SimCity and you got it and you were disappointed, then yeah, you should get Cities Skylines. If you were super hyped for the last SimCity and you didn't get it because you saw the reviews, well then yes, this is your chance. You can get your modern city builder. So just generally, if you're the kind of person who likes to build systems, like to set up economies and set up all these sort of things working together, balancing all the resources and all of that stuff, if you like that sort of gameplay, then you're gonna love Cities Skylines. But this isn't a game that's full of car crashes and explosions, so keep that in mind. So overall, Cities Skylines is a super solid game, and it seems to be like they're living up to their promises. They said that they will provide all of these things, and people have been hyping it as the SimCity killer, and it seems like it really is.
It is hot and I'm sweating along out here. Woo. But we're at the end of another episode of Gadget Nation. That's the end of the season, but don't worry. We're going to take maybe a 1 or 2 week break before we get some fresh new gadgets, some fresh new content just for you. So, if there's anything you want to see in the upcoming season, why don't you just find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter, you can find us everywhere, because we'd love to hear from you. Myself as well, just look up Adam Carruthers. Time for me to get back to my One Direction. We'll see you very, very soon.